movie. Okay. Today is Alexa's birthday, December 8th, 2013. So she is how old?
Is it 78?
60.
68. Now,
And when you testify,
so that means that you have a daughter that's close to 70.
68 is not close to 70.
Right. And a grandchild that's
close to 40.
close to 40. Correct?
Yes.
All right. So the question, I have a few questions. The first question is, what is the secret to long life in regard to how you deal with people and food?
Right.
Those are the two topics.
Well, the best thing is to have a positive attitude about everything and everybody. And
What if you don't like somebody?
you try to manage to have as little as possible to do with them.
Okay.
And I
And what do you mean positive attitude?
Well, thinking on the bright side of life,
Okay. And that's good for long life?
and that's good for long life.
And what about eating? What's the secret to eating right?
Well, I have no particular secrets, but you should have a balanced diet and not to overeat. I don't know any other secrets.
All right. And what's the secret to a good marriage? You were married how many years?
How many years?
Over 50?
I was married in 39, and he passed away in 55, I think, 1995.
Right.
1995,
So you were married over 50 years.
yeah.
And what's the secret to a long marriage?
It's the same secret,
Which is?
to try to be as nice as possible and accept people with their faults and all, and make the best of things.
Okay. And,
Well, this is going down, you mean?
yeah. I'm trying to find out what the secret is.
There are no secrets, really. It's just a way of life.
You have to be lucky too.
And you have to be lucky. And you have to
So,
accept
so
people.
you're not supposed to
faults and
dislike
all.
anybody.
Well, you can dislike them.
Like what
But
about
that
that
doesn't mean that you have to kill them. You can dislike them, but you have to mind your P's and Q's.
What does that mean?
That means not to
Don't leave your eyes closed.
ask too many questions.
Okay, so if you're walking down the hall and there's somebody you hate, what should I do? What would I do to
Hate is not a good word. to
Not a good
have.
word. Dislike?
Dislike.
So you don't hate anybody?
You smile. I don't hate anybody.
Okay.
You smile and you walk on your way. That's all.
And that was the reason for your success.
I imagine so. People still think I'm
What
very
about
nice.
working?
I smile a lot.
Okay, what about working? Is working good to have a long, if you work, is that a good idea or
It's a very good idea to have something to do.
something to do?
Not just something to do, but to do.
Because today you told me that your store was open. I thought just for breakfast and lunch, but you said it was open until what time?
From 6 o'clock in the morning until 12 at night.
And when you were there, all that,
Well, no. One of us opened, and somebody else did the closing. During the day we met. We were all worked together. But
in the deli.
in the deli.
And,
But-
and people had lunch there and breakfast and dinner.
And dinner, yes. Very little for breakfast. It wasn't really a breakfast.
Why are you closing your eyes? We're talking.
I don't know.
All right. And your daughter, you want to say anything about your daughter?
I have two wonderful daughters.
Right. Daughters, I should say.
Daughters, yes. Two wonderful daughters. Alexa number 1 and Rosalind number 2. And they couldn't be nicer or better. They're wonderful children. And that's all I could
Well,
ask.
it must be a tribute to you if you raised wonderful children.
Well, maybe it's true because they say that a lot of things that Rosalind is so nice about is that I gave her the good upbringing. And probably the same with my daughter Alexa. She's a born psychologist.
What does that mean?
She was always very good with her friends. Her friends' mothers always liked her because she, was a good influence on their children as well.
Okay, I have one last question before we finish. Every time I come here and you introduce us to people, the people always say the same thing.
What?
Oh, your mother-in-law, she's a wonderful person.
Well, people just have a way of saying that.
You
To
don't,
be nice.
maybe it's true.
Maybe it's true.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank
Any
you.
last words of wisdom? Any last words of wisdom to live by? Things that I shouldn't forget.
Things that you shouldn't
I shouldn't forget to have a good life. Anything?
And to keep a low profile.